Hi guys, today we're going to be looking at what makes your relationship last, or what the things to take on board in order for your relationship to last longer. First thing we're going to talk about is sense of direction. I'm sure you guys hear my videos a lot about sense of direction, but I can't stress it enough, because a relationship just needs a roadmap. A relationship needs a mental picture of their future. They need to know exactly where it is that they're going in there, for the future, for that relationship. That's why it's very important for a relationship to have sense of direction. There's a quote that I even put on Facebook saying that a sat nav with no input of address on it, it takes you anywhere but arrives nowhere. So if you don't actually know where you're going with that relationship, I'm not talking about as an individual, both individuals having their own set goals. I'm talking about the relationship itself, or the marriage itself, having a sense of direction, having a roadmap that this is where we're going with this marriage. This will be what we'd like to accomplish. This is our vision, even for the marriage. So the first thing to make your relationship last is to have a sense of direction. Now, the second thing is understanding. So understanding is the ability to be able to see what your partner is saying. You know, there's two of you in this relationship, and you need to be able to develop this listening ears to be able to understand what the other person is trying to say. And this is what, it brings success in a relationship. A lot of people speak these days and there's no understanding, and because there isn't any understanding, you find out that they're not going along. People are not taking each other along on whatever decision it is that they're making, because there isn't any understanding in the relationship. The next one is commitment. This one, I say, is really, really important in a relationship. Commitment, it goes far beyond the vows or the promises that you make to one another. Is being able to translate those words that you have given, translating it into action. Commitment is that inner strength that will see you through everything, because relationship on its own, it brings a lot of arguments, it brings a lot of, it can be frustrating because of your differences. Two different people coming together to make things work, they need to be committed to it. You need to just develop that commitment, have that spirit of commitment to be able to go for it. The next thing is communication. Not just communication, but effective communication. This is the backbone of a relationship, is what holds a relationship together. The communication, if it's broken down, the whole relationship crumbles. And I advise both, not just couples but singles as well, to take courses on, study on effective communication, buy books on effective communication. You find out that it involves listening, it involves not just listening, it involves listening attentively, it involves being able to speak and pass your message properly, it involves not interrupting. There's a lot of things to learn on the effective communication. And these days people are in relationship and they wonder why they pass a message and people misunderstand them, or people get angry, or people just don't understand what they're saying. And it's because it's not that they're not passing their message, it's just is not effective. So I encourage people to buy books on listening, on effective communication. The other one is empathy. Empathy is needed a lot in a relationship, and especially for married couples. Both the man and woman must learn to have empathy. They must learn to put themselves in the other person's shoe. I'll give you an example. There was a day I wasn't at home and my husband had to bring both kids to me, and he packed all their stuff. came, he met me up, and then the kids were hungry and I wanted to give them their meal, only to find out that he actually packed everything but forgot the bottles. And I was thinking, okay, how do we actually feed them now? Now you've forgotten the bottles, how do you feed them? And the thing is, just for a moment, he paused and he actually thought to himself that what I just get up and I just do, just like that, it actually takes a lot to be able to remember all the things you need for the children. And because of that, he really said to me that, look, I appreciate what you do. And I've just realized today that sometimes this can be difficult, but for me, I just think it's so easy. So until you put yourself in the other person's shoes, you might not know what they're going through. So I always encourage people that have empathy in your relationship, understand what the other person is going through, put yourself in their shoes. The next point is self-control. Oh my God, this is needed a lot. We need self-control in our spoken words. When you speak words that are not encouraging, you can't take them back. It's like you put a hole in a wall and you expect, they say you put a nail in the wall. When you take out the nail, there's a hole in there already because you've said something that is not encouraging. Self-control in our eating habits. Women, I get this a lot, saying that women, when they get married, they tend to let go of themselves. They start eating a lot, they put on weight. And I understand, obviously, if we have children, we'll put on weight. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about having that sense of now you've accomplished something, you're just going to let yourself go. That's not having self-control. We need self-control in temper, guys, ladies. Self-control when it comes to temper, when it comes to spending habit, the same way we used to spend when we were single. Now you need to start, whilst you're single, you need to start learning to cut back on some of the things that are not necessary, because when you go into marriage, kids are going to come into it, and now you have to cut back for the kids. And you realize if you don't start training yourself now, it's going to become a lot more difficult. And you need to also have self-control when it comes to your desire for sex. If you let it be because of sex you go into marriage, you might even get disappointed. But just be careful when it comes to the area of desire for sex. You need to have self-control when it comes to that. And the last one is submission. When you speak about submission, a lot of people are not happy to hear, especially women, but submission is both for men and for women. And, I don't define submission as being a doormat or being weak, but submission is actually, it is wisdom. It is not a weakness. It's just a place of protection. What it means is actually seeking counsel, being accountable to someone, walking in obedience. You're submitting to a rule that somebody is put there to protect you. Let's say, for example, road, the speed cameras, it says 30 miles per hour. Now they've put it there. You have to submit to the rule of driving 30 miles per hour. If not, you might end up speeding and killing somebody. And because of that, what do? They put the cameras there to protect you, protect others. And if you fail to do as they said, then you get points. But at the end of the day, it's for you to benefit. So all these points are really needed to make the relationship last. At the end of it, I'm going to put what it all stands for so you can see where we're coming from. Anyway, thanks for listening, and I'll see you soon.